Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be answering some frequently asked questions as you guys are always asking stuff in my comments and I thought maybe I'd just put them all together in one video. Okay, the first question people always ask is what software do I use to screen record? The screen recording software I use is QuickTime Player. I think it automatically comes with any Apple like MacBooks or computers. I use QuickTime Player and it works really well. The next question is what device do I use to make GFXs? I use a MacBook Pro, which is really good. I think it renders a little bit quicker than MacBook Airs. I'm not sure. I used to have a MacBook Air, so yeah, I've noticed a bit of a difference. Looks like this. Next question is kind of just common sense. Okay, no, I'm not gonna say that. The next question is how do I get so good at making GFXs? Basically, I just want to say it's about practicing. I wasn't magically good at making GFXs. They were actually quite horrible. Yeah, if you're just starting out or you haven't been doing them for long, don't expect them to be amazing. Don't beat yourself up if they're not amazing because we all have to start somewhere. And I've been making GFXs for like, what, 5 years now? I started making GFXs way before I even started doing YouTube videos, so, you know, practice is gonna get you there. Another one I get is, what's your favorite intro? I think my Clueless intro is the best intro I've ever made. But I like to have a different intro every year, so I had to scrap that one. Definitely my favorite that I've ever done. I get asked a lot what editing software I also use. I just did a video on the whole editing process if you want to look at that, but I use iMovie. It's the best. I used to use Final Cut Pro, but it wasn't free. It was like, I did this sneaky thing where like after the 90-day free trial I like re-downloaded it, but they fixed the bug, so I can't get it anymore without having to pay, and I don't want to pay for that. So iMovie is great for free editing and it's super easy as well. How long have you been making GFXs is another one I get asked. I think since 2018 maybe, or maybe 2019. Can't quite remember, but it was when I was in intermediate. Another question I get is why don't you do commissions anymore? Can you make me an intro? Can you make me a GFX? I would love to. Like, I love making GFXs and intros for people, but the thing is I don't really have time anymore, and you know, it's a lot to make a bunch of orders and everything like that, and I'm trying to post quite frequently on YouTube at the same time while also keeping up with my schoolwork and other stuff in my social life, so I really don't have time. That's why I kind of make how to make an intro, how to make a GFX, so that you guys can try and make one for yourself instead of having me make it for you, because I'm not really capable of doing that at the moment. People always ask me like how I balance schoolwork with YouTube stuff. Basically, I get my schoolwork always done first. I wish I didn't have to, but you know, school comes first. I actually had mock exams, not last week, the week before that, and I don't think I posted for like 2 weeks, so I'm sorry, but I had to get my study in because I didn't know what I was doing. That's just an example of me having to ditch YouTube for schoolwork, but schoolwork comes first and then I'll get back onto my YouTube stuff as soon as I can. When people ask me like, is it possible to make my kind of level of intros on mobile? If there was a way, I would definitely show you, but for now, you're just gonna have to stick to my little mobile tutorials, which we all know they don't look anything like the type of intros you can make on a laptop, which sucks because, you know, I didn't own a laptop until literally when I first started making GFXs, and if I wanted to make one before that, I couldn't, so it sucks. But the detail in the animation, I don't think mobiles or iPads or anything could physically be able to do that. Or people will be like, the intro I made on my mobile doesn't look anything like your intros, and I'm like, because my intros are made on laptops, like a mobile cannot make things to that level on a laptop. Like, I just think so. People get mad at me, I'm like, I literally can't do anything about that. Like, same with GFXs, like obviously a GFX made on a laptop is not going to look like a GFX you make on your phone. It's not possible. Oh, people ask me like, how long does it take to render your intros, because this is taking a long time. Usually what I do is I put my intro onto render overnight, so like if I'm going to sleep, I'll put it on at like 8 PM and then I'll wake up in the morning, it'll be done, because it just like, it takes all night to render For a GFX, it should only take like up to 10 minutes at the most. Sometimes like only 5 minutes, only 2 minutes. Depends on the, depends how detailed it is. Intros do take a long time, that's why I never render them during the day, because I'm always needing to use my laptop for school stuff and other stuff if I want to play Roblox. One tip, never play Roblox while you have a GFX rendering or an intro rendering. Your laptop will explode. I also get asked what I use to make my thumbnails. I did that in my last video once again, but I use Photoshop. Photoshop isn't free, but there are so many free alternatives like Pixlr, Canva. I have tutorials on how I do that as well. Another way you can use Photoshop though is if, like, through your school, if your school pays for like the Photoshop plan, you can always just use it through that, you know, which I used to do before I got my own plan. So there's always ways around it, but otherwise you can just use the free alternatives. Oh, another one people ask me is, why don't your tutorials work? My tutorials, they're not like a thing that's gonna work or not work. They do work, but you need to be able to, how do I explain this? You need to be able to follow along with it. Like, if you think it's too fast, you need to slow it down, pause the video. I remember when I made my first GFXs, the tutorials were really hard. They're not that they don't work, it's that you're just not following them properly. From experience, if you don't get it, you need to try it again. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had some of your questions answered, or just like listening to me answer your frequently asked questions. I haven't done a facecam video in a while either, so I hope this was helpful. Like and subscribe. Okay, bye.